Hey there, my beautiful tales of Auntie Ray family. Grab your sweet tea, your wine, or whatever gets you through these family betrayal stories, because tonight Auntie Ray has a story that will have you screaming at your phone, texting your group chat, and checking on your own grandma before the credits roll. This one comes straight from the glittery, backstabbing streets of Palm Beach, Florida, and it is pure revenge served ice cold with a side of 42-carat emerald. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so nobody else tells the story before Auntie Ray does. Let's dive in. The first thing Evelyn Wentworth did when she realized her family wanted her gone was buy a ring light. She was 74 years old, 5'3" in her Ferragamo flats, and still turned heads on Worth Avenue when she walked past the Bougainvillea arches with the same posture that had made lesser women faint at debutante balls in 1969. On this particular Tuesday in late October, she wore a pale pink linen dress, pearls the size of marbles, and the serene expression of a woman who had just read her own obituary in draft form and found it lacking. The Apple store on Worth Avenue smelled like new money and overpriced citrus candles. The 22-year-old sales associate, bronze from a summer in Santorini and wearing sneakers that cost more than Evelyn's first car, assumed the silver-haired lady wanted the ring light for grandkids' Zoom calls. Perfect for family birthdays, the girl chirped, ringing up 3 iPhone 16 Pros, 2 wireless lav mics, a rose gold MacBook Air Evelyn would never open, and the 48-inch ring light that looked like something a beauty influencer used to film Get Ready With Me videos at 3 a.m. Evelyn smiled the smile that had once raised $500 million for the Kravis Center in a single evening. Something like that, darling. She paid cash. 10 crisp $100 bills folded into a roll thick enough to choke a horse. The girl's eyes widened. Old ladies in Palm Beach did not carry cash like Miami club promoters. Evelyn simply patted the girl's hand. Keep the change for your college fund, sweetheart. By the time Evelyn left the store, the sun was sliding toward the Atlantic in that particular shade of tangerine that made realtors weep and photographers rich. She walked the 2 blocks to the Breakers, nodded to the doorman who had known her since he was a bellhop in 1983, and took the private elevator to Suite 1804, registered under her maiden name, Evelyn DuPont, which still opened more doors in this town than any married name ever had. She set the ring light on the balcony table overlooking the ocean, arranged the 3 new phones on their little tripods like a tiny firing squad, and pressed go live on TikTok for the first time in her life. The title appeared in hot pink text across screens from Los Angeles to London at 8:02 p.m. Eastern. Watch my family find out I was never broke live. 74-year-old Palm Beach grandma. Get popcorn. Within 4 minutes she had 100,000 viewers. By minute 9, 2 million. By minute 12, the stream hit #1 trending worldwide and TikTok itself started texting her. Are you okay, ma'am? Do you need help? Evelyn looked straight into the center lens, the one with the best depth of field, and spoke in the refined, lethal drawl that had once frozen junior league presidents into statues. Bless your hearts for worrying, children. I'm better than okay. I'm rich, I'm furious, and tonight I'm about to become your favorite grandma. She let that sit for 3 beats, then smiled like a woman who had just ordered tea and a side of scorched earth. Now let's begin. To understand how Evelyn Wentworth reached the point of weaponizing TikTok against her own flesh and blood, we have to go back 3 weeks, to a Tuesday that started with the smell of white gardenias and ended with the taste of betrayal so bitter it could have stripped varnish. The intervention took place in the oceanfront living room of Wentworth House, the 1927 Addison Mizner masterpiece on South Ocean Boulevard that Architectural Digest still called the crown jewel of Palm Beach. The walls were coral pink coral, the floors Cuban tile older than the State of Israel, and the ceiling had been hand-painted by the same artist who did Mar-a-Lago, back when that name still meant something elegant. Evelyn's only child, Preston Harrison Wentworth IV, 51, Botoxed within an inch of his life, Rolex Submariner glinting under the chandelier, stood at the head of the room like a ringmaster who had mistaken cruelty for concern. Beside him was his 4th wife, Blair, 33, former Miss Florida runner-up turned full-time influencer with 1.8 million followers who believed her morning celery juice routine was content worth paying for. Their daughter Tatum, 22, fresh from a wellness retreat in Tulum that cost more than most people's weddings, leaned against the grand piano scrolling through her phone with the expression of someone waiting for an Uber out of hell. A woman in lavender hospital scrubs introduced herself as nurse practitioner Lauren from Ocean Serenity Memory Care. She held a clipboard like Moses with the tablets. "Mother," Preston began, voice trembling with rehearsed grief, "we love you so much, but we can't watch you decline anymore. The forgotten stove burners, the time you lost the Bentley in the Breakers parking garage for 6 hours, the episodes where you think Daddy is still alive and talking to you from the pool house." Evelyn, seated in her favorite coral-upholstered Bergera, lifted one perfectly arched eyebrow that had taken decades of practice and several discreet visits to Dr. Brandt in Manhattan. "Funny," she said mildly, "I don't recall leaving the stove on. And your father is dead, Preston. I simply choose to speak to him anyway. It's called tasteful grieving. You should try it sometime." Blair stepped forward, lower lip injected to trembling perfection. "Evie, we've already spoken to your doctor. Early onset dementia is brutal, but Ocean Serenity is the best on the East Coast. They have watercolor classes and Sunday champagne brunch." "Darling," Evelyn cut in gently, "the only thing brutal here is your contour. It's migrating." Tatum rolled her eyes so hard her individual false lashes threatened to achieve orbit. "Grandma, just sign the papers so we can all move on with our lives." The papers. A durable power of attorney, a healthcare surrogate designation, and the piece de resistance, a petition for plenary guardianship already stamped by a probate judge who golfed with Preston at the Everglades Club and owed him favors from a certain hedge fund scandal in 2009 that never quite made the papers. Evelyn looked at the Mont Blanc pen they slid across the inlaid wood coffee table like it was a loaded pistol. She picked it up, uncapped it, and wrote a single word across the signature line in perfect Palmer penmanship. "No." Then she stood, 5'3", but somehow the room shrank around her. "I'm going to take a nap. When I wake up, I expect this circus to be gone. And Preston? Next time you forge my signature, at least use the fountain pen Daddy gave me for our 30th anniversary. The felt tip is so very community college." She sailed out on a cloud of Chanel No. 5 and righteous fury. Behind her, nurse practitioner Lauren looked like she needed a safe space and a green juice. That night Evelyn did not nap. She poured 2 fingers of Pappy Van Winkle, the 23-year-old, the bottle Preston thought she didn't know existed, into a Baccarat tumbler that cost more than most people's rent. She walked barefoot across the Moroccan rugs to the third-floor library, pressed the hidden panel behind the fake Dickens first editions, and opened the wall safe. Inside was a single manila envelope labeled in Harrison's handwriting, "ED in case those bastards try it." Inside that envelope, the original trust agreement Harrison had set up in the Caymans in 1998, 2 weeks before the SEC came knocking about certain trades that were creative even by late 90s standards. Harrison had moved $380 million offshore, then spent the next decade pretending the family fortune was comfortable but not obscene. He died believing his only child would never need to know the full extent. He was half right. Evelyn had known for 25 years. She had simply chosen to live on the published income, a mere $9 million a year before taxes, because she wanted to be loved for her chicken salad recipe and her Christmas decorations, not her net worth. Tonight the game changed. She opened the TikTok app Tatum had forced on her last Christmas, "So you can see my stories, Grandma," created an account under the handle at Palm Beach Evie, and recorded a 30-second test video on the moonlit balcony. The caption, "When they try to put you in a home but you're richer than all of them combined. Coming soon." She scheduled it for 8 p.m. the following evening, turned off her phone, poured another finger of Pappy, and slept better than she had since Harrison died. The next 3 weeks disappeared in a blur of quiet, elegant violence. At 4:17 a.m. the morning after the intervention, Evelyn left Wentworth House with one Hermes Kelly bag, crocodile vintage, worth more than the Bentley, her jewelry roll, the manila envelope, and the Pappy bottle. She left a note on the kitchen island in her trademark turquoise ink. "Gone to the spa for a few days. Don't panic. Love, Mother." She took an Uber Black to the Breakers, registered as Evelyn DuPont, and paid cash for 30 nights. Then she hired people. First, a crisis PR manager named Samantha who had once saved a pop star from a sex tape scandal, and STLL had Anderson Cooper on speed dial. Second, a white hat hacker from Miami who went by the handle Gator and charged in cryptocurrency and Cuban sandwiches. Third, a retired Palm Beach detective named Marco who still golfed with the chief of police and had friends in the FBI's Miami field office. And finally, because every queen needs a court jester, a 25-year-old makeup artist named Diego, who could make a corpse look red carpet ready, and had 400,000 followers who called him the Latin Bob Ross of contour. Diego gave her the glow-up of the century, soft honey blonde highlights, a modern layered bob that took 10 years off in 10 minutes, and contour sharp enough to cut glass. She looked 60 on a bad day and 55 when the light hit right. Gator discovered that Preston and Blair had already taken out 3 fraudulent credit lines in Evelyn's name totaling $1.8 million, and had retained a probate attorney known in certain circles as the Grim Reaper of Palm Beach Estates. Marco discovered that nurse practitioner Lauren's real credential was a 6-month online certificate from something called the American Institute of Alternative Start to Finish Wellness, and that Ocean Serenity Memory Care had a 43% unexpected mortality rate in the first year of residency, mostly from complications of overmedication. Samantha booked Evelyn a sit-down with Anderson Cooper for the following week, pending developments. Everything was ready. October 28, 8 p.m. Evelyn wore a white St. John knit suit with gold buttons that had once belonged to her friend CZ Guest. The 3 phones were lined up on tripods like soldiers. Behind her, the Atlantic glittered black and silver under a hunter's moon. At 8:02 she pressed the button. Viewer count, 10K, 50K, 200K, 1 million in 4 minutes flat. Chat exploded. Is this real life? Grandma is serving face and receipts. Palm Beach tea just scalded my soul. Evelyn smiled the slow, dangerous smile that had made hedge fund wives weep at charity auctions. Good evening, America. My name is Evelyn Wentworth. Some of you know my house from the Christmas house tour. Some of you know my son from page 6. Tonight you're going to know the truth. She held up the trust document, thick creamy paper with the Cayman Islands crest. This is the Harrison Wentworth Family Trust, Grand Cayman, 1998. Current balance, $380 million. Give or take what the market did today. She flipped the page so the center camera could zoom. My late husband moved the money offshore when certain regulatory unpleasantness threatened our lifestyle. He never told our son. I respected his wishes. Until yesterday. She set the trust down and picked up a second folder. These are the fraudulent credit applications my son Preston and his wife Blair submitted in my name. Neiman Marcus, American Express Centurion, a yacht broker in Fort Lauderdale. Total so far, $1,800,000. She held up still photos Gator had pulled from the dark web. Preston and Blair laughing at a corner table at Café Balud with the probate shark, Ocean Serenity brochures spread like playing cards. And this is the memory care contract they wanted me to sign tomorrow morning at 10. Monthly fee, $22,000. My room would have overlooked the parking lot. How thoughtful. She leaned closer to the camera, pearls catching the ring light like tiny moons. They told me I was losing my mind because sometimes I talk to my dead husband by the pool. Children, I have been talking to Harrison every morning for 23 years. He gives better advice dead than most men do alive. The chat was pure chaos now. Fire emojis, skull emojis, crying laughing emojis, and a new hashtag trending worldwide in 7 minutes. Hashtag free Evie. Quick pause, babies. If you are living for this story right now, do Auntie Ray a favor, smash that subscribe button, ring the bell, and turn on all notifications so you never miss when I drop the next Betrayal to Triumph masterpiece. We're about to watch a family get escorted off their own property in front of 11 million people. You do not want to hear about it secondhand from your cousin on Facebook. Hit it now, then come right back. We're back. At 8:17 her phone began blowing up. First call, Preston. She declined. Second call, Blair. Declined. Third call, Tatum, crying so hard her voice cracked. Evelyn let it ring. At 8:21 Tatum FaceTimed. Evelyn answered on the center phone and pinned it so all 3 million viewers could see Tatum's mascara-streaked face and messy bun. Grandma, turn it off. Everyone at the club is watching. My brand deals. Evelyn tilted her head. Your brand deals, darling? The collagen water people? I believe their demographic is women under 30 who still have living brain cells. Tatum wailed. You're ruining my life. No, sweetheart. You scheduled my ruin for tomorrow at 10 a.m. I'm simply rescheduling. She ended the call. At 8:29, the gate camera Evelyn had hacked into showed Preston's white Bentley convertible screeching up the driveway, Blair screaming into her phone, Tatum stumbling out the passenger side barefoot holding a bottle of Veuve. Evelyn smiled wider. Perfect timing. She held up one last document, the original 1927 deed to the house, and a new one couriered from the Cayman trustee that morning, time-stamped 4:15 p.m. As of this afternoon, Wentworth House and its contents belong to the Evelyn DuPont Foundation for Elder Protection, a 501c3. Tax-exempt. She looked directly into the lens. That means my family is now trespassing on property that belongs to a charity. 2 Palm Beach police cruisers, summoned anonymously 10 minutes earlier, rolled up behind the Bentley, red and blue lights painting the pink stucco walls like a disco for the damned. The officers stepped out. Preston started yelling about, "My mother is unstable." One of the officers, Sergeant Morales, whom Evelyn had known since he was a rookie writing parking tickets on Worth Avenue, simply handed him the new deed and a trespass warning printed on official letterhead. Blair tried to film it vertically for her story. Morales politely asked her to stop or be arrested for interfering. Chat count hit 5 million and climbing. At 8:45, Evelyn raised her glass of Pappy to the camera. To every grandmother who was ever told to act her age. Age is a number. Power is a choice. She took a sip. And to my family, you wanted the house? Enjoy the sidewalk. The Foundation's first project is turning the estate into a shelter for seniors fleeing exactly the kind of abuse you attempted. Applications open Monday. She set the glass down. One more thing. She opened a small navy velvet box. Inside was the 42-carat emerald ring Harrison had given her on their 40th anniversary, the one Blair had been eyeing for years like a starving woman eyes steak. "I believe this is mine." She slipped it on. Security has been instructed to change the locks and the gate code. The new code is 1776. Independence matters. She blew a kiss. Good night, America. And remember, hell hath no fury like a grandma with Wi-Fi and receipts. She pressed end live. Final concurrent viewers, 11.4 million. The clip of her sipping 23-year-old bourbon while her family was escorted off the property in front of the Bougainvillea would be turned into GIFs, reaction videos, t-shirts, and eventually a Super Bowl commercial for a brokerage firm that wanted to look relatable. 6 months later. Evelyn DuPont, she had legally dropped Wentworth the day the divorce from her own child was metaphorically finalized, sat on the same breaker's balcony where it all began. The ring light was gone. In its place, a simple glass of iced tea with mint from the garden she had planted on the Wentworth house lawn, now Harrison House Sanctuary. The sanctuary housed 32 residents, all women over 65 who had been targeted by their own families. The East Wing had a salon where Diego now worked full-time, the West Wing a library with every book Evelyn had ever loved, and the ballroom had been converted into a content studio where residents learned to tell their own stories on whatever platform the kids were using this week. Anderson Cooper had aired the special. The FBI was investigating Ocean Serenity and 3 other facilities in Florida. Preston and Blair's reality show deal collapsed when every sponsor pulled out overnight. Tatum entered rehab in Arizona after a very public meltdown at Mar-a-Lago when someone played the live stream on the Jumbotron during the Valentine's dance. Evelyn's new TikTok bio reads simply, "Rich. Free. Your favorite grandma. Founder, Harrison House Sanctuary. DM for help, never for pity." She still posted once a week, garden tours, recipes for cheese straws that could make a grown man cry, the occasional loving but lethal drag of someone who deserved it. She had 28 million followers and a verified blue check she still pretended not to understand. Tonight she wore linen pajamas the color of the ocean at dusk and the emerald ring that caught the moonlight like a signal fire. Her phone buzzed. A new text from an unknown number. "Mother, please. We're sorry. Can we come home?" She looked at it for a long moment, then typed a single reply before blocking the number forever. "Darling, you already are home. It's just not my problem anymore." She set the phone face down, picked up her tea, and watched the moon rise over an ocean that finally truly belonged to no one but her. And that, my darlings, is the story of the Palm Beach grandma who reminded the entire world that some women only get stronger with age, and some families only learn respect when it's too late. If this story fed your soul the way it fed mine, do 3 things for Auntie Ray right now. Hit that like button so this video can find every person who needs to hear that it is never too late to choose yourself. Subscribe and ring the bell because next week I've got an even wilder one coming, trust me. Drop a comment and tell me, would you have pressed that go live button? I need to know. I love y'all bigger than a Texas sky. See you in the next one. Mwah.